Yeah, thanks, Shubs, and good evening to members of the media. Congratulations to the football club, congratulations to the technical team, the supporters and everyone involved. And congratulations to the players for putting the team in the group stages.
Questions from the floor?
Coach, eighth or ninth season in a row in the group stages. It might look basic, it might seem expected, but it's a great feat. And out of everything that the club does in the Champions League, what matters is the fact that the points that you accumulate for the consecutive seasons you're in the Champions League. What does it mean to you and this group? Because you keep talking about this group.
Yeah. Before you even speak about this group, because you speak about it as 8-9 years in a row, so you have to give big compliments to the previous groups that have done that and to put the club there. For sure, there's a group that was led by Shompo, there's a group that was led by even Aliye and Rama previously. And that was a fantastic group. And in fact, those were fantastic groups, and they need a lot of praise and really for putting the club there with the bare minimum expectation of qualifying for the group stages, because they did even more than just that. And then of course the club and the entire structures of the club, from senior management, chairman, the leadership from the Mutsipe family, and the rest of the board and the management structure. Because that you speak about 8-9 years, there's longevity there, there's experience there, and there's that space, and for sure that puts us in that the level where the bare minimum expectation and the requirement is to make sure the team is always in the group stages. It's not easy. We've had incredible experiences. Even my little bit of experience being part of the technical team, even previously as an assistant coach, we've had some very difficult games, and I can remember games against Chicken Inn that was so difficult to qualify. So these games can easily be banana skins, and if you don't respect the opposition and respect the club and respect the games, you could find yourself in a little bit of trouble. So that's why you've got to give compliments to this group for the mentality, for the professionalism, and how they go about going again and again and again and again, winning again and again and again, and that's very important. So yeah, it's important for us, because it's important for the football club, and we are just servants and pleased to serve the club as best as we possibly can.
Coach, are you in a position to give us the extent of Lucas' injury? And if he's out of the final, how much of a blow would that be?
Yeah, no, not yet. Not yet. I think it's under assessment, and we'll see. But I don't think it's that serious.
Coach, are you satisfied with today's performance? Looking at how in the front of that they are regarding at home, maybe
it's so difficult, I'm happy with the performance. The only way to improve this team is training, and I can't ask for more sessions, because we've got so many games. So I'm a little bit excited that we've got a neutral week next week in terms of training and to try together. But this team needs to train, but yeah, for sure, I'm always asking for more from the players, and they always try to give more and to improve, and even the final third, that it takes time. We want to have some form of principles and schemes, but to do that, you've also got you need them to play longer together. Maseko needs a bit of so much coaching. And then the injuries also don't assist, because now you've got to look after Peter, you've got to look after Lucas, and they have to play together to form cohesion, and then you lose some of these players. But yeah, the basic answer to your question would be, am I satisfied with the performance? Yes, I am.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening. Thank you, sir.
I watched the game on Wednesday up against Stellenbosch as well as today, particularly Modiba. I mean, he's creating, patterns and knitting passes as well. He's very much confident in the way that he's this way passing the other. Is he now getting comfortable in that position of being in hybrid position?
Modiba is if there's a player I've been unfair to in terms of selection, it's Modiba this season. Modiba has had some very good performances, and there are games where I've watched the opposition and I've thought this is a little bit, but he's been so consistent this season. And what helps is his versatility and his game intelligence. Modiba can play at the back, can play in the second line, can play in an inverted position, can play as a left winger. So he covers so many, can even play as a 10. We played him as a 10 this season, and he's been very, very good, Modiba. So, but you know me, I don't like singling out players, but to be honest, if there is a player that can, and I said it all the time to them, I said, there is no fair coach. And I've been very unfair sometimes to some of the players when they've had some very good performances, but I try to be as honest as I possibly can, and that's why they trust me and I trust them, and even the technical team. There's a very good feeling amongst us and the players and the group, because we try our best to be honest. And even though sometimes we are unfair, but I think they understand that we do everything for the betterment of the club and for the team to win. And so it's a very good group of players. We're unfortunate. We also miss Marcelo Allende. Obas was making some very good strides, and then he got injured. So we're a little bit in that space. But yeah, the most important is to continue winning. And that's the pressure we have at Mamelodi Sundowns, is to continue winning. When we lost the Champions League last season in the semi-finals, people said, no, but you can play bad and win. We want you to win. We don't care. And I said, no, we will do it a certain way. And I'm still in that space. We want to build a certain way of playing, but at the same time we want to continue to win. So that's a collective effort. That's training, that's playing, and that's an understanding of small details and little things. But it will come. It takes a bit of time, especially when you've got so many games. But we will get there and we will improve. And Mendieta will come, Maseko will come, Lesibanku will come a little bit slowly, but it will come. Lebu's been out, so it will also come. Tapelo Morena needs a little bit of confidence, you can see, but it will come. Pizzo has been out for some time, and Kulisi, but it will come. So slowly, it will come.
Last round of questions, starting from the left and then the buckets.
Coach, honestly, this week there will be press conference leading up to the final.
Sure.
I'm just going to ask one bite. For you, this final, I'm sure it will be, it will be emotional. Obviously going in there, you're going to have emotions in check, given your history, family, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I haven't had time to even really think that far. Fully absorbed by today's fixture, and let's see where we go, and try to prepare the team. As what's important is Sundowns, and I am just an employee of the football club, and I'm a servant of the football club, and so sentiments, feelings aside, and full focus on. It's not easy because I'm human too, but for sure, what's important, number one priority is Mamelodi Sundowns, and that's where my mind is also.
No.
Coach,
Yeah.
last time you spoke of him losing some kilos.
Yeah.
Is he where you wanted him to be
It will come. He needs a little bit more, but it will come. He needs game time. He needs confidence. Zungu needs love. I've known him for a very, very long time. He's a good human being. He's a very good professional, and he loves the club. That's the most important thing. Also, he's prepared to serve the club. So today played a different role, played a little bit, we had a few more demands. I was happy he got to the final third, especially in the first half, a lot higher in the next lines. So it will come, Bongs will get better. He's struggled for the last 2.5 years or so with injuries and many other things, but I'm very satisfied with where he is, and he gives a lot more than just what we see on the pitch. He supports the younger ones off the pitch. He coaches a little bit with his experience. He helps a little bit with the translation sometimes also, because he speaks very fluent French. So Bongs is such an important part of that. And they are going to be very important games for Bongs. With the games that need a lot more positional sense and control. The Bongs is your guy, So let's see as it goes, but we've got a good group and competitive with a lot of quality, and the senior players are very, very important, and that includes Bongani Zungu, Musa Lebusa. It was good to see Dennis on the pitch today. It was, because of the leadership that they give around, and so sometimes to be on the pitch and get confidence is important. And Shishi, Brian Onyango, these players give so much more than just what we see on the pitch. So it's good to see them on the pitch playing and with smiles on their faces, because that's what footballers want. They want to play, and even though they can't always play, but when we can give them the opportunity, they know that we will always do that.
Just one. Okay, go first, because if they say you have my minutes.
Coach, Rajay had a press conference this week, and he, obviously you always say that you don't get praised enough and stuff like that, and it's not important to you, but he had some very nice things to say about you. What caught my ear was that he says he doesn't think you have a bed, it's on a laptop. But that in a good way, to say you
for sure.
Put so much effort into this thing, you love this thing, and how does it feel to get such affirmation from the man himself?
Where do you even start his success is enough weight on my shoulders already, and so part to what we try to do, of course, as an individual that belongs to a group, is to try to get ourselves, and myself in particular, to a level where I think the family can be proud because of the achievements, particularly from Rajay as my uncle and my father and my late grandfather and their contributions to South African football. They have made things extremely difficult for us, myself, Bamuza, and the generation that comes as offsprings. And I'm just humbled by his words, and he knows that I not only see him as an uncle and a father, to be honest, but also as an inspiration. And everything that he's done from his playing days, even as a coach, he's coached Bafana, he's coached at the World Cup, he's won so many trophies as a coach, and so hearing these words, and even though they are words that I get to hear even in private, humbles me, and especially from a legend like him, and like they say, you only get to see further because you stand on the shoulders of giants, and I can only be better by continuing to stand on his shoulders and appreciating the strength and the hard work that he's put in to set the trail and for us to follow, as his kids, and it's extremely humbling and humbled by his words and humbled by his inspiration. More than anything, he's a role model and an inspiration.
Okay. Thanks for once again.
You're a legend now.
I get to join you at the table. Coach, the question is going to be a bit long. They say championship teams are not the starting 11.
Yeah.
You look at when this team won, Dennis was the best player on the continent, but in the second leg of the final, Winston Dillon had to come in and do the job.
100%.
Funny enough, I take you in a video today of Steve Kerr hitting 2 big shots, but the final is remembered for Michael Jordan winning his team championship. But the small things where certain players come in and add so much that it doesn't get seen in the grander scheme of things. Looking at, piggybacking on the question here, looking at like Zungu getting some form, looking at Mabena coming in and scoring during the week, and looking at certain individuals like Mudiba now, with Alenda getting some rest and Mudiba playing, and he's also raising his hand. How much does this give you almost a headache to say certain individuals that maybe you may be unfair to are coming in and they're raising their hands? What type of headache is that for you?
No, it's a good question, and really. That's we may get criticized as Sundowns for the size of the squad, but really that's why we need everybody. And one of the most important improvements this season has been that even when we do make rotations and we give players chances, the standard doesn't drop, and we maintain the level of performance, and that has become very, very important, because I said to them at the end of the season, I'm not convinced that rotation is a solution that we should be adopting, but the reality is we can't play everybody in every game and just have a starting 11. We need everybody. We need everybody for a competitive training session. And so for competitive training session means there needs to be mileage in the legs, there needs to be confidence in the hearts and the minds, and there needs to be a feeling that I can play if I do well. A sense of meritocracy, rewarding good training attitude, good training performances, good match performances, good match, and you see it even with the atmosphere around. You have to just be around these players and around the team to actually feel that there is a sense of brotherhood and a deep sense of trust that really bonds them together, and that's very, very important, because it's going to be a very difficult season. We are not even 3 quarters in, really, to be honest, with if you look at the number of games and the number of competitions that we have to play, and so this is just the start, but a very good start, and now we've just got to maintain and try to get through this period. Just before the FIFA break now, 1 more game and then a FIFA break, so we can get a little bit also some rest and some training time also to improve certain things, and that's our only spaces, I always, it's unfortunate, but the good in the FIFA break is that we get time to train, we get time to work on some of our game details. But also the unfortunate part is that we get a lot of our players gone to national teams. So it's a balancing act, and even though that's the only time really we get to train, because most of the periods is games every 2-3 days, and then it's recovery, rest, preparation, and specificity, and not necessarily game model developments, specificity in relation to the next opponent. But we need time also to develop our model of play and develop the team, especially because we changed a few things and we wanted to look like a different team this season, and so far so good, and a lot of credit needs to go to the players, because the game of football is the most is the most difficult sport. You know, the size of the pitch, 11 versus 11, the amount of space, and maybe even sometimes the unpredictability of movements from the opposition, your teammates. So that's why you try to have a little bit more control of the chaos now in modern football. But to control the chaos needs schemes and pictures, and to develop schemes and pictures needs time. And we don't have so much time, but we have to make do with what we have, and that's why preseason is important. FIFA breaks are important. A week like this one that we go into is so important, where we have time on the pitch and we can work on things and video and pitch work, and so yeah, I agree with you. It's not just the quantity, but it's also the quality in the numbers, and big compliments to this group for the selflessness that they continue to demonstrate, because sometimes it's very difficult, as I said, even for Modiba, for an example, or Mendieta, for an example, has a very good performance against Chiefs as a sub, and then doesn't start the next one, starts the game in Tanzania and plays very, very well, but doesn't get to start the next one, you know, because maybe the coach is a little bit conservative about the counter-attacks and these type of things. So some games they need, when the games are a little bit more open, we use the individual qualities that suit these type of games, and when these games that need a little bit of control with their, you know what I mean. So at times it's horses for courses, you know, especially when you have so much quality, because of the level of preparation that we put in. But the team has to also develop, because what we have to get to at the end of the season is to have developed, like we did last season, what we call as cohesive superiority, and that is one of the major superiorities in football, and that you can only do with time together and feeling of movements, passes, timing, you know, that can only come with that, and it's difficult to develop that, but I think we will get there. We got there last season, even with the diamond, and at the beginning it looked a little bit as if, you know, you have to tweak here and put some oil here, but we got there eventually. In January we were flying with the system, and so we will get there again. We'll have a very good break, longish with AFCON, so that will also give us more time to continue working. So very optimistic that the team will improve and get better, but while we say that, we also must be grateful and appreciative of the efforts of this group of players and give them a lot of praise.
Despite the size of the media, still top tier. Thank you for that, coach.
And thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Kolinsky.
Oh, Kolinsky.